On the night of March 14, 2025, under the leadership of President Ibrahim Traoré, many people gathered in Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso, to share food and pray together. This event was the third time Muslims and Christians came together to break the fast as one big family. More than 2,000 people were there, showing love, peace, and unity. They sat together, ate together, and prayed for their country. This special gathering happened at Place de la Nation, a big place in the city. People smiled, talked, and showed that Burkina Faso is a country where everyone can live together in peace.
In a world where religious tensions often fuel conflict, one leader is taking a bold step in the opposite direction. Ibrahim Traoré, the young president of Burkina Faso, has garnered attention not just for his military coup or his defiant stance against Western influence, but for something far more unexpected: his push for religious unity in a nation deeply divided by sectarian tensions. In a country where religious strife has been a persistent undercurrent, particularly between Muslims and Christians, Traoré's government is actively working to bridge those divides. And it's not just lip service. The Catholic Church, typically cautious of political entanglements, has even gone so far as to publicly praise his efforts, hailing his dedication to fostering an environment of peaceful coexistence and mutual respect.
They forgot about differences and became brothers and sisters. The president of Burkina Faso, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, has always wanted people to be united, no matter their religion. He believes that Muslims and Christians can live as one and support each other. This event helped bring people closer, making them feel like one big family. Everyone there felt happy and hopeful for the future. The leaders of both religions spoke about love and kindness, telling people to always help one another. They said Burkina Faso will be strong if everyone stays together. Many people thanked President Traoré for supporting peace and togetherness.
But what exactly has Ibrahim Traoré done to earn this approval from religious leaders in a country where such gestures are rare? Is this a strategic political move? Or is there a deeper, more authentic commitment to unity behind his words and actions? And what does this say about his leadership style and what the future holds for Burkina Faso under his rule? Stay tuned as we explore the surprising intersection of politics and faith in Burkina Faso, the Catholic Church's reaction, and what Ibrahim Traoré's example could mean for other African nations struggling with similar divides. A bold voice of support from the Catholic Church. When Father Jean-Baptiste Kaboré stepped up to the pulpit in Ouagadougou, few could have predicted the depth of conviction in his voice or the boldness of his message. Draped in flowing robes and backed by the solemn stillness of his congregation, he delivered not a typical sermon, but a heartfelt endorsement of a man who, to many, represents a new kind of leadership in Burkina Faso, Captain Ibrahim Traoré. But this wasn't about politics, not in the traditional sense. Father Kaboré's praise wasn't rooted in Traoré's military background or his rise to power. It stemmed from something deeper, something moral. "This is a time when division could be easy," the priest declared. "But we are led by a man who chooses inclusion over isolation. That is not just wise governance, that is moral leadership." The crowd responded with thunderous applause, not as political supporters, but as people moved by a message of unity. For Father Kaboré and an increasing number of religious leaders in the country, Traoré's vision transcends political affiliation. It taps into a collective yearning for peace after years of division, violence, and fear. Traoré's efforts to bridge gaps between Christians, Muslims, and indigenous faiths have not gone unnoticed. He is being recognized as a leader who does not merely tolerate religious diversity, but embraces it as a source of strength. In a region where conflict often finds fuel in religious differences, this stance is revolutionary. And within churches and mosques alike, a quiet but powerful chorus is growing. Leaders of faith seeing in Traoré not just a head of state, but a steward of spiritual and national unity. Father Kaboré's voice may have been the first to ring out so clearly, but it certainly won't be the last.
President Ibrahim Traoré worked very hard to bring Muslims and Christians together in Burkina Faso. He spoke many times about peace, love, and unity, telling people that they are one family, no matter their religion. He met with religious leaders from both sides, listened to them, and asked them to help bring people together. He also made sure that events like the big meal at Place de la Nation happened, where people from different religions could sit, eat, and pray together. He gave support to the organizers and encouraged everyone to attend.
Religious diversity meets leadership that gets it. Burkina Faso is no easy nation to lead. Political unrest, violent extremism, and economic hardship have tested every corner of its society. Yet, in the face of such adversity, one remarkable thread holds firm: religious coexistence. Despite being made up of roughly 60% Muslims, 23% Christians, mostly Catholics, and the remainder practicing indigenous beliefs, the country has largely avoided sectarian violence. This resilience isn't accidental, it's cultural. And under Captain Ibrahim Traoré's leadership, it's becoming intentional. Traoré isn't blind to the country's differences, nor does he attempt to erase them. Instead, he leans into the complexity, insisting that diversity is not a weakness, but a source of strength. At a public forum in Bobo Dioulasso, he made it clear: "We will not let outside agendas turn us against each other. Christian, Muslim, traditional. We are all sons and daughters of this land. That is our bond." These words resonate deeply in a region where extremist ideologies often exploit identity to sow division. In neighboring countries, faith has been weaponized. But in Burkina Faso, Traoré is using it as a shield, a unifying force that strengthens the nation's resolve.
That I made yesterday, last night, about the president of Burkina Faso and the delegates from Rome. According to the news, they were there to celebrate 125 years relationship evangelization in Burkina Faso. I said, what? 125 years? That's a lot. Families listen to the message that they brought from the Pope, and everything else out of that. Thank you for your time.
His approach is not about platitudes or photo ops. It's about policy, presence, and principle. He visits churches, mosques, and sacred indigenous sites not as political gestures, but as acknowledgments of belonging. That matters in a country where many have felt invisible for too long. In a time when fear and fanaticism are often louder than reason, Traoré's leadership offers a rare and necessary clarity. That peace is possible when leaders don't just tolerate difference, but protect it. In doing so, he's crafting a version of Burkina Faso that the world would do well to watch and learn from.
They should see that when they come together, they are stronger and happier. They should learn that praying to God in different ways does not make them enemies, but makes the world more beautiful. They should learn that fighting because of religion only brings pain, while peace brings joy. They should learn that their leaders, like President Ibrahim Traoré, want them to live in peace, so they should listen to messages of unity and not to people who try to divide them. They should learn that sitting together, eating together, and celebrating together brings more happiness than hating each other.
Interfaith initiatives under Traoré's watch. Father Kaboré's praise for Captain Ibrahim Traoré isn't just rooted in hope, it's backed by action. Across Burkina Faso, a wave of interfaith initiatives is quietly transforming religious diversity from a potential fault line into a foundation for unity. Under Traoré's watch, religion is no longer a source of tension. It's becoming a platform for shared citizenship. One of the standout efforts is the Faith and Peace Cohesion Council, launched early in Traoré's administration. This isn't just a symbolic body, it's a working council made up of imams, Catholic priests, and elders from Burkina's animist communities. Their role is twofold: to advise the government on moral and spiritual matters, and to monitor early signs of religious or communal tension before it escalates. The council doesn't stay confined to the capital either. Its members travel throughout the country, holding public dialogues and town hall meetings in cities like Dédougou, Tenkodogo, and Gawa. These aren't staged media events. They're gritty, grassroots conversations aimed at listening, healing, and bridging divides in local communities. Complementing this is the School of Mutual Respect, an experimental education initiative piloted in the northern city of Ouahigouya. The school doesn't just mix students of different faiths in classrooms, it integrates them into shared projects that nurture empathy and cooperation. Whether it's maintaining community gardens, joining interfaith choir groups, or participating in joint volunteer missions, the emphasis is on real-life collaboration, not just theoretical tolerance. These programs reflect a deeper political philosophy. Traoré hasn't used religion to score political points or stoke identity politics. Instead, he's woven it into a broader vision of inclusive nation building. By investing in interfaith dialogue, education, and civic participation, he's turning difference into strength. In a region too often torn apart by religious extremism, Burkina Faso's approach under Traoré offers something rare and powerful: a model of unity rooted in understanding, mutual respect, and shared purpose.
On March 14, 2025, Burkina Faso, through the country's Prime Minister, Jean-Emmanuel Ouedraogo, and the head of state Ibrahim Traoré, took a bold step that is sure to rattle governments worldwide, and most especially our own African puppets. Prime Minister Jean-Emmanuel presented a comprehensive overview of the nation's progress just over the past 12 months to the Transitional Legislative Assembly, and they were massive.
Defying the global trend toward division. As global leaders increasingly lean into identity politics to tighten their grip on power, Captain Ibrahim Traoré is charting a different course in Burkina Faso. He's not pretending his country is without struggle, far from it. But what sets him apart is his refusal to weaponize religion in a region where such tactics have become dangerously common. Neighboring countries tell a different story. In Mali and Niger, jihadist groups have used Muslim identity as a rallying cry for anti-Western insurgencies. Parts of Nigeria remain mired in Christian-Muslim violence. But Burkina Faso, under Traoré's leadership, is sending a powerful counter-message. Religion itself isn't the problem. It's the manipulation of religion that breeds chaos. Traoré's message isn't limited to policy statements. It's visible in his symbolic actions that resonate deeply in a wounded nation. As Father Kabore noted, he visits mosques during Eid. He comes to Mass on Christmas. He lights candles at animist altars during village festivals. That matters. Symbolism matters in a country that has bled too much. These gestures may seem simple, but in a country marked by past trauma and division, they're monumental. Traoré is showing that leadership rooted in respect and inclusion can defy division and inspire unity instead. A leader shaped by faith and the battlefield. Captain Ibrahim Traoré's rise to power in 2022 through a military coup initially sparked fears of dictatorship and repression. Yet what has emerged is a leadership built on trust rather than force, a quieter revolution. Traoré may not be overtly religious or quote scripture in his speeches, but he consistently engages with religious leaders, seeking their counsel and support. He attends both Christian and Muslim funerals for fallen soldiers and speaks of spirituality as a moral compass, not a political tool. For Father Kabore, that's enough. I don't need him to be Catholic, he says. I need him to care that Catholics are safe, and Muslims, and animists, and soldiers who just want to go home alive. Traoré's leadership, shaped by both faith and the battlefield, shows that true power lies not in the barrel of a gun, but in fostering unity and understanding across faiths and communities.
Indeed, your training has forged you to face the complex challenges that await you. Whether it is fighting deforestation, protecting our hydraulic infrastructure, or contributing to the security of our nation in general, you are now fighters for nature, but also for the stability and prosperity of our country. Now imagine a nation not just defending its borders, but nurturing its very lifeblood, its forests. In a powerful display of forward-thinking leadership, Burkina Faso, under the guidance of Captain Ibrahim Traoré, is doing precisely that.
Countering extremism through unity. Religious extremism is a harsh reality in the Sahel, with groups tied to Al-Qaeda and ISIS causing chaos across the region. These groups target villages, burn churches, kidnap priests, and destroy mosques, aiming to fuel fear, chaos, and division. But Captain Ibrahim Traoré isn't reacting impulsively. He's playing a longer, more strategic game. By making religious leaders key stakeholders in the country's security, Traoré has turned them into essential allies in the fight against extremism. Imams have helped identify radical sermons and curb recruitment, while priests have reported safe havens for displaced individuals. Animist elders have guided soldiers through sacred territories, understanding that violence in these areas would only backfire. This approach is not just a PR stunt, it's tactical inclusion. By integrating religious leaders from all faiths into the security framework, Traoré has created a robust and cooperative defense against extremist forces, and it's working. Even international observers, initially skeptical of this strategy, are beginning to admit that Traoré's methods are stabilizing zones that were once overrun by conflict. In a region where division is often exploited, Burkina Faso's model of unity through inclusion is proving to be a potent counter to extremism. Grassroots change, faith in action. You can feel the shift among everyday people in Burkina Faso. In the bustling markets of Ouagadougou, Muslim shopkeepers pause their business to allow Christian neighbors to attend Sunday Mass. In rural churches, prayers are lifted for Muslim friends fasting during Ramadan. In schools, children openly discuss their families' beliefs without fear of judgment or division. This isn't by chance, it's culture being intentionally shaped by policy and example. Captain Ibrahim Traoré's leadership has fostered an environment where religious unity is not just an ideal, but a lived reality. He has made space for these interactions to thrive, encouraging inclusion at every level. One of the most powerful symbols of this unity came during Burkina Faso's National Day of Mourning for Fallen Soldiers. The ceremony opened with a Catholic prayer, followed by an Islamic one, and ended with a traditional Mossi dance, a poignant tribute to the dead, symbolizing the Earth's embrace. This kind of coordination doesn't happen accidentally. It's the result of a leader who understands that unity isn't just about policy, it's about creating spaces for people to live out their shared humanity. Traoré's actions are not just bridging faiths, they're building a culture of peace and mutual respect. Critics and challenges still remain. Not everyone views Captain Ibrahim Traoré's leadership through rose-colored glasses. Critics argue that his regime still operates under a military cloud and accuse him of suppressing dissent while promoting religious unity. It's a fair point. Religious harmony doesn't erase political complexities. However, progress isn't nullified by these challenges. Traoré shows that a transitional military leader can still defend religious peace. Even Father Kabore acknowledges Traoré's imperfections, but offers a compelling perspective. Tell me a leader who has done more for interfaith respect in the last 10 years. I'll wait. That question speaks to the rare nature of Traoré's leadership.
In every great society, there comes a moment where knowledge meets purpose, where the voices of the future are given the tools to speak and to lead. Today, we mark that moment. Across schools and universities, a new journey begins. The launch of lectures on civics and citizenship. More than a curriculum change, this is a national call to awaken awareness, responsibility, and pride in participation. Because being a citizen is more than carrying an ID or casting a vote. It's understanding how our governments work, why our rights matter, and how our actions can shape the future. From bustling city classrooms to quiet rural campuses, students will now engage with real-world questions.
A model for West Africa. Can a nation battered by insurgency, coups, economic strain, and outside pressure still choose unity through diversity? Burkina Faso is proving it can. Rather than suppress religious identity, the country, under Captain Traoré's leadership, is embracing it as a cornerstone of peace. This isn't just political theater, it's a living, breathing blueprint for coexistence in a polarized world. Traoré's approach shows that faith, so often a source of division, can instead be a point of connection. His leadership is turning belief into bridge building. That's not only rare, it's revolutionary. Father Kabore and countless others see it clearly. Burkina Faso isn't just surviving, it's modeling something the entire region and world might learn from, and that's worth standing up for. Final thoughts from the pulpit. The conversation around Captain Ibrahim Traoré may not hinge on whether he fits the mold of a classic Democrat, nor on how long he remains in power. What truly matters is the legacy he chooses to build. In a moment that resonated deeply across Burkina Faso, Father Traoré delivered a sermon that captured the heart of the nation's hope and resilience. His words have since gone viral. Burkina Faso is not strong because we are the same. We are strong because we choose each other, again and again. And that choice has a champion today. His name is Captain Ibrahim Traoré. These words serve as both a blessing and a challenge. Traoré's leadership will ultimately be measured not by political orthodoxy, but by his ability to inspire unity, protect his people, and leave behind a legacy of courage and connection. In the end, history remembers those who dared to choose their people over and over again. Ibrahim Traoré's ability to win praise from religious leaders, particularly in a context as volatile as Burkina Faso's, is a testament to his unique approach to governance. By promoting religious unity, he's sending a message not only to his country, but to the rest of Africa, that peace, respect, and tolerance can thrive even in the most difficult of circumstances. In a region where sectarian conflict is a reality, his focus on harmony stands as a rare and powerful example. But the question remains, is this a fleeting moment of political goodwill, or is Traoré laying the groundwork for a new kind of leadership that transcends religious boundaries? The world will be watching closely, as his actions may influence the direction of his presidency and the future of Burkina Faso's diverse religious landscape. What are your thoughts on Ibrahim Traoré's efforts? Is religious unity the key to stability in Burkina Faso, or do you think there's more to his leadership than meets the eye? Share your opinion in the comments. Give this video a thumbs up if you found it thought-provoking. And don't forget to subscribe for more updates on global politics and the leaders shaping our world today. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay informed and stay engaged.